Namaskar. Hello and welcome to P Guru's channel. I'm your host Sree Iyer. General K.L. Narayanan or General K.L. Rajiv Narayanan is joining us. We are going to take a look at the impact of the United States presence in Gaza. How does the geopolitics of the Middle East change? What is China going to do about it? What is India thinking? All this and more. He's got a fantastic slide deck to share with us. Now let's welcome General Rajiv Narayanan. Namaskaram, sir. How are you?
Namaskaram, sir. So happy to be on your channel. Yes, interesting times ahead. I have always called Trump the great disruptor, and this time he's really disrupting everything. And of course, the biggest disruption has been to all those who were the flunkies of the Vokes. The USA is stopped. And Politico, which is supposed to be a news journal, unable to pay the salaries. It shut.
So that means 18 new YouTube channels, General Rajiv.
So a lot of issues are going on, but one of the most interesting was his statement on Gaza. People may not know, in February, Jared Kushner had debated on this in Harvard. And there have been quiet movement from the Trump team to that place and back for doing the assessment. So if we have the slideshow,
yes,
he said he'll make it the Riviera of the Middle East, but there is more to it than that. It's not just been spoken like that. And the Brits are angry. You will get to know the reason why they are angry once we go through the slides. He plans to take over Gaza, and I'll just go back. Yeah. And the interesting thing in this place is everyone in the world is agreeing that there has to be a Palestinian state, except for the Palestinians who claim that West Bank and Gaza is where their state should be. No other nation in the world has exactly pinpointed where they should be. And of late, they may have done earlier, but of late, ever since that, I would say it was a disaster for the Gazans, 7th October, what they did, 2023, and especially putting it up on social media, the depravity that they went to, and the manner in which they held the hostages and conducted them. Even the Gazan people lost whatever respect they had with the world because they were holding on to the hostages and ill-treating them. So the question is, where is the Palestinian state? And this gives an indicator as far as Trump is concerned. It carries forward, I'll explain, from his first tenure to the second tenure. Now, the first issue, forget about the land. Dig, 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 baby, dig. This is what was Trump's statement. This is the offshore oil and gas deposits, especially gas in the Mediterranean opposite Israel and Gaza. The ones in dark are already there. The gray ones are located, and the white ones are where gas has been struck. Now, in the late 90s, the Palestinian authorities had contacted British gas for offshore for themselves. But everything, the oil, gas, whatever they have, was to go to Egypt. And British Gas would operate, and they would keep 90% of the revenue. Only 10% would be given to Gaza or the Palestinian authorities, and whatever was the need for gas would be given. Israel was angry, and they had said, no, they want control, and all the revenues, they want control of that to make sure that the revenues doesn't go to the terrorists, to fund terror. After 2006, when the Israelis had gone in and all those fights and everything was taking place. Tony Blair, he was the original one who had spoken about this British gas and sending to Egypt. Now said will go to Israel, but funds he was not giving to the Israelis. He said funds will be in New York to preempt funding of terror. And when he says New York means US, US would decide the disbursement of the funds. So it's not new. If you think US is the new entry into this, it's not new. Tony Blair had said it in 2006. Of course, Hamas intransigence and then the terror attacks prevented use of the other discoveries, and everything is gone. Now, the US Geological Survey says 122 trillion cubic feet of natural gas and 1.7 billion barrels of recoverable oil. So now you understand Trump's statement, dig baby dig. Gaza. So it's not, he's not shooting in the breeze when he says Gaza. Number two, on the right is the old route of a planned canal going from the Gulf of Iliad towards Ashkelon. Ashkelon is just north of the Gaza Strip. That's the old route, going up the Jordan River and then going to Ashkelon. It's called the Ben Gurion Canal. Because if you remember, Suez Canal has its problems, the draft, number of shipping. Yes, they have made certain parallel routes, all the kinks that are there when you're getting into the lake. There are two lakes there, the Great Bitter Lake and begins with the T. That's the lake formed when the Nile Delta is coming there. I'll get that name. Maybe it may be there here. Now, these, there are bends there, so they've made parallel routes. When the ship gets stuck, like I remember 2021, I think it was, when a Chinese ship had got stuck, turned, and it took so much of time. So there are issues there. So they were looking at going down this route. But now the planning, now you see why Gaza has to go. It goes straight through the northern portion of Gaza. This is the Ben Gurion Canal, which is going to be made by the Americans and the Israelis, so that their shipping need not go through the Suez Canal, because they don't know which way it will go. While 𝗍𝗍 is there, some check he can keep on the Brotherhood, but the Muslim Brotherhood is very strong in Egypt. Saudi Arabia is never going to say no to the Ben Gurion Canal. Right next to Gulf of Egypt is Elliot, is where he's making his new city, Neom.
They've already invested billions.
Billions. So the moment this canal is through, just imagine, it becomes a commercial hub.
Right.
It becomes a massive commercial hub. So Saudi Arabia has never raised a voice against this canal. Iran screams, who has nothing to do with either of the canals. Okay. So this is the other part why Gaza has to be leveled. Hamas has to go out from there. How do you distinguish the Gazans from Hamas? You can't. He's a normal man carrying a weapon. He drops the weapon and comes out. You will never know he's a Hamas. That's the reason why they have to be removed, so that this goes through Gaza. Now, what is the present situation in Gaza? So, the dark blue area is where they have been able to create a ceasefire buffer zone. The light blue areas are where still Israelis are there. So on the right side that you see, Gazans mostly are generally in these camps, which is in this mustard color. Yes, there are some camps up north there, but bulk are here. About 2 million plus. This is the situation in Gaza, where he wants to take them out, because the Ben Gurion Canal is going along just north of Gaza city. And there are so many miles and miles of tunnels there. He just can't afford to leave them there and through the tunnels, and then they come start hitting the shipping. You have Houthis already who are creating a problem. Would you like to have Hamas also creating problems with the shipping? Houthis at least are some distance away, sitting in Yemen. They can hit the ships that are coming, but they can't interfere with the canal per se. They are not interfering. Even if they are, Iran also would not like to interfere with them. But here it will be open season. Partridge shooting as far as the ships are concerned. So that is the reason, two main reasons why they have to go. And along with that, of course, Trump is essentially a reality man. He is going to convert, he looks at the coast and his eyes pop up and he wants to make it the Riviera of the East. Now, see, Mar-a-Lago, yes, sir.
Viewers, just a clarification. Reality without the I, REALTY. That is real estate. That's what the good general meant. Over to you, sir.
Okay. Like, I'll give the example of Mar-a-Lago. It was a disaster when it was sold dirt cheap to him. He converted that huge palace and other things and converted into a resort and brought it up. So he thinks, if I can make Mar-a-Lago the in thing today, where the in people want to come and make their own villas out there and now want to come there and have come and holiday there, why can't he convert this? And his son-in-law Jared Kushner has had a look at these places. And he has been speaking to the Israelis also on this issue. So it is not something which has been shot out of the blue by him. Now, in this comes, where are the possible locations of the Palestine state? So earlier also we had discussed this in early November 2023, around 10th, 11th November 2023, the war had just started, as to where would they want. So firstly, we have to be clear, pardon my spelling of recognized, Trump 1.0, he recognized Jerusalem as the capital of Israel.
Right.
And against all pressures, global pressures, he shifted his embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem. If Jerusalem is the capital, I'm sorry, West Bank can never be part of Palestine. There is no way. So the Palestinian authorities would have realized it in his first term itself, and that is why there was such a hue and cry. But he held firm. And they remember, the Democrats had also shouted against him. But if you please, Biden administration, the embassy continued to be in Jerusalem. They never brought it back to Tel Aviv. What does that tell you? Bipartisan, West Bank is with Israel. Period. If West Bank has to be with Israel, then now let us look at the two countries that he talks about, which we had discussed that time also. At that time, we had said West or East. This time, I am saying East. Now, either he can put it at South Sinai. That time, we had looked at both flanks. Now that plans have firmed in of the canal, unlikely they will want them anywhere near the Gulf of Islands. Now, either it will be on towards the Red Sea in the Gulf of Suez, right along that coast, because there are one or two ports available out there. You create a nation, it needs ports for it to survive. Or he could throw it up where I have said North Sinai, where on that coastal road classification 40 is given, there are one or two ports out there. It has a proximity to Port Said, from where the Suez Canal starts. They would be okay. I don't think Egypt would be comfortable with them coming anywhere near the Suez Canal. If push comes to shove, if he has to give up something in Sinai, I think it is the South Sinai which they would give. So I feel the future Palestinian state finally is going to come either on East Bank or South Sinai. One of these two places. If it is on East Bank, reason I am saying is because the Jordan River is available. So for water, as you go deeper into Jordan, it's all desert.
Right.
So if anywhere else he has to give, they have to look at how a nation can survive. It needs water. And the other is, of course, South Sinai. Though I've given option 1, option 2, I myself feel that finally it's likely to be in South Sinai. They're well away from everything.
Yeah, they need to put that distance. They need to put that distance.
You can't dig so long and go there under the desert. They have their lifeline. They have one or two ports available for themselves. And for those 2-3 million people, 3 million I'm saying because quite a sizable portion of Palestinians are still there in Jordan. And so they might shift and come here. For all the screaming, you will notice that Saudi Arabia has only said one thing, that they will start their embassy, diplomatic relations with Israel once the Palestinian state is formed. But he has kept quiet on where.
Right.
Embassy has not said where.
So, yes, indeed. Sir, 1 second, sir. Viewers, this is best viewed on a TV screen. There's a lot of information here. And once you view it on a TV screen, which is what I'm actually doing, my full screen is up. If you look at it, I see South Sinai as the only possibility, because on the right side picture, if you look at the dividing line between Israel and Egypt, and the fact that the new Ben Gurion Canal is practically going to go parallel with that, they want to put as much distance as possible from there to this new Palestine. So I think South Sinai seems to be the best choice.
So it is ultimately MBS has also kept quiet. How have they roped in UAE? UAE is not even peeped as yet. Apart from India, they are using UAE also for negotiations of Ukraine and Russia. China is actually, I would say, on a tremendous back foot. They don't know what to say. Of course, narrative warfare will all be there. The biggest indicator, first thing, our Independence Day was on Republic Day, 26th January. There is a foreign VIP who has come as the guest of honor.
Indonesian president, right?
Yes. First Independence Republic Day parade, Suharto had come. The 75th anniversary, now Subianto had come. Okay. When such a thing happens, the complete protocol is coordinated by MEA. Foreign Secretary is in charge. But where was your Foreign Secretary on that day? China. Point number 1. And this is after Ajit Doval has gone and discussed some things with Putin, and Jaishankar has gone and met their Secretary of State and Donald Trump. And the NSA nominee, Waltz, he has met him also. Comes back, Your foreign secretary has gone to China. Chinese are very particular about protocol. If a foreign secretary comes, the discussion will be held at that level. A bureaucrat comes, then the senior-most bureaucrat is going to talk to him. Who met him? And whom did he talk and discuss complete meeting? Wang Yi.
So that is the foreign minister, though, not a bureaucrat.
No. Wang Yi. The complete discussion was held with Wang Yi. Wang Yi, who holds his discussion only with our NSA.
Right.
How come he met him? And then he gets, of course, any senior bureaucrat who goes there, he gets his audience with Xi Jinping. But the complete press conference, everything was done by Wang Yi, and our press is quiet about it. They didn't even catch it. How ridiculous. If the foreign secretary had gone there, they would have sent some vice president who's at the bureaucratic level to meet him. Why was Wang Yi there? And then all this meeting and other things, and then you are called there. And so you're invited, and he's going to France. So from there, 12th, he finishes that AI global conference, which Macron is chairing. He goes there. Then 13th, he's in your place. 14th, Valentine's Day, he has his meeting with Trump. And then he gets back. The surprise maybe he may introduce the ambassador. So everybody is keen to see who comes after garlic chutney. We used to call him garlic chutney.
I love the turn of phrase.
Because that's what he was doing, eating samosas with garlic chutney. He was left to that only. He hardly ever got any audience with either the foreign minister or the foreign secretary or the prime minister. Nothing. He was left to dangle. So now, having seen this, could you get the slide up?
Yeah. Next one, please. Just 1 second, sir.
Yeah, having seen this, now there is going to be what is the relevance? Like I said over the slides, of course, tourism hubs, that's his baby. He's a reality king. So oil and gas in the Mediterranean Sea. Then the Ben Gurion Canal, which is going to be owned by USA and Israel. Saudis are keen because it's next to their Neom city, but there are challenges. How do you neutralize the Houthis? So to do that, you got to sort out the Iranians. And I'm sure he'll be sorting out the Erdogan also. Erdogan, Qatar, and Iran. These three are going to get a royal boot from the US. But Qataris suddenly don't understand what is going to happen. Yes, people in the press conference, Marco Rubio said, no, it's interim. Their White House press secretary also said interim. Interim is a very relative term. Interim can be for 10 years, 20 years, 50 years. Interim
or tomorrow.
Or tomorrow. So interim is a very, temporary is also a very relative sort of a term. What is temporary for me may be permanent for you. Like if I take a lease for 43 years, it is temporary. After 43 years, I'm not there. I'm not permanent. So, but he's looking at a 99 or 100-year lease from them. So now you have to take a call, finally, location of a new Palestine state and enforce its acceptance. Now, this is going to be a slight change from the maps that the Republicans had made, which we had spoken about earlier also, redrawing the borders of the Middle East, written by Lieutenant Colonel Ralph Peters. In that, there was no Palestine. But now this is a reality that where do these 2-3 million people go? Now everybody has come around to, after Trump 1.0, though nobody is pinpointing a place and saying, no, this is where they will be. Because the area of Jerusalem, there was never a place called Palestine ever in the history of this region till the Brits didn't call it Jewish Palestine and Palestine mandate around the First World War and after the First World War. Before that, there was nothing. Even if you look at the Ottoman maps, it was the Protectorate of Jerusalem, autonomous region, which came directly under the Sultan. Otherwise, that whole region was the Vilayat of Syria. Vilayat was the governorate of Syria. That area today, Israel area, was not under the Syrians. It was directly controlled by the Sultan. Now, to be able to control and to have his people to give him a feedback is where he had collected all these gypsies and other people and brought them there. And the Britishers called them Palestinians. It is Philistine. And the Philistines fell by the wayside once David won. And King David had his empires and all the Philistines won. If you look at it, is the Judean Empire, Samara and all that. You'll never find a word Palestine anywhere in the history of that region. But be that as it may, the people are there. And everybody in lexicon, it has come in as Palestinian. So you need to give them a place. How do you get on board the people? It is evident, like I said, British petroleum was supposed to do that. British gas was supposed to do that. Now they're not getting it. There's no word of Britishers coming in. As long as Starmer is there, question doesn't take birth. Both Trump and Starmer hate each other because Starmer is the woke chap. So no wonder he's saying it's not acceptable to me. France wants to have his 2-bit too because it was the 𝗍𝗍 agreement which drew the borders. The Brits and the French who drew the borders. I'm not surprised that the British and the French are the ones in Europe who are screaming. Because the 𝗍𝗍 agreement goes down the gutter. Once all this happens, it goes down the gutter. Egypt will come around to it. After all, Sinai, I don't think is that relevant to him, that important to him. Yes, there is an abundant amount of oil and gas in the Sinai region also. So it depends. The Americans man say what is going to come through the Sinai desert. They might give it to the Egyptians that you do the refining and you decide on between you and Gaza how much money is going to be taken. So, paisa bolta hai, money talks. So they'll keep quiet. Yes, sir.
And they will outsource it to Ambani.
Ambani, Adani, anybody can do it. So, you see, money talks. And the moment Egyptians get to know that, okay, fine, this portion, region, the gas which is available, it's going to come to us, the oil, gas, revenue is going to be with us. And they will decide what goes to the Palestinians. Why will he not come on board? So these are negotiations are going to start. And Israel is only going to be happy. Because now he only needs to look towards the north and he has already created a tremendous buffer zone almost virtually up to the Litani River.
Yes,
and
yes.
He is actually pushing for the Hezbollah to go further north behind the Awali River to the north. Just south of, I think, Sidon or Tyre is the place where Awali River comes. And he wants to keep the Litani and Awali gap as a buffer. And that is the background to why HTS was allowed to take over the area that they have taken in Syria, which comes close to the border of Lebanon. So it blocks the flow of Iranian weapons into Hezbollah. It becomes a little difficult. And that is where pressure on Turkey becomes important, because to the north they have that patch which the Turkish supported Syrian National Army is there. That gives a direct link into Lebanon. So hence the pressure will come on Turkey. Pressure will come on the hardline Iranians. So the complete churning is going to take place in the Middle East. And in this churning, will Kurdistan get formed? Because there is some portion of Iran, some portion of Syria, but some portion of Iraq already is autonomous. Maximum portion is going to come out from Turkey.
Correct. They're like a cap. They're like a cap on these 4 countries.
20% of Turkish land is it's Kurd predominant. So that is why Turkey is getting worried that it will break up. And Iraq has already gone down the route of that map. It was supposed to have 3 parts, it's in 3 parts. There's a Shia area, there's a Sunni area which borders Saudi Arabia. Nothing grows out there. There's nothing there. But it is there, the Sunnis are there, the Shias don't even go there. And to the north, Mosul and all that area is the Kurdish area, it is autonomous. They run their own government. The Iraqi parliament doesn't run there. So it is virtually into 3 parts. What they wanted to do with Pakistan as on date today, it has happened. Balochistan has gone out from Pak control. They're basically restricted to 3-4 cities where the military camp is. They don't dare come out. They are in Gwadar, then Turbat, Kalat, and Quetta. Full stop.
General Rajiv, while we are on
𝗟𝗡𝗅 Khan. So they are pushing towards these. And in their overall map, if I may just complete, Lebanon was supposed to get back to being a Christian state, and it was a greater Lebanon, taking away the Latakia and Tartus ports of Syria. Syria would have no outlet on the Mediterranean. It would be taken over. But this, I think, is a work in progress. It will take time till they don't take away. Because like I keep telling, some people say Lebanonization of Pakistan. No, that is not. We have to worry about Lebanonization of India, the manner in which the skewed population growth is taking place, like Europe is facing today. Lebanonization was, they permitted after they were booted out from Jordan, it was 69, Black Friday, when they went in there after 67 war, these idiots, Yasser Arafat tried to assassinate the king and take over. And that is how they brought the Pakistanis there and butchered them, massacred them, kicked them out, and Lebanon, like a fool, permitted them to come there. And they brought in everybody, and the Hezbollahs also came in there, and now suddenly they procreate like mad. The Christians have become minorities in their own country. That is Lebanonization. When the demography changes, when you change the demography, that is Lebanonization. And the best part is PLO. Yasser Arafat was not even a Palestinian, but he was leading the Palestinians. Somehow everybody related to him that he's a Palestinian. Please read your history. He's not a Palestinian. He was placed there. So the Middle East is in for a churn, and quite a drastic upheaval is likely to take place. And the Sunni arc is getting very strong south of the Persian Gulf. The Shia, or rather I say the Sunni crescent, the Shia arc to the north is getting weak. So you have now left just with Turkey, which has only, I don't know what his people are doing, because his economy is supposed to be tanking, yet he's spending lot of money only on his defense. I wonder who he is getting. Nobody has threatened to invade Turkey. So what is his threat perception? Why he needs so much of weapons? And the most of his weapons he is using to influence conflicts in the region. And you have the other side, Iran. Iran, I understand, he's been under threat ever since I would rather say the biggest error they did was attacking the American embassy in 79. If they're not attacked that embassy, after all, where was Ayatollah Khomeini parked? In France. Yeah. That means he had the support of the West. And then he comes here, and then you attack the American embassy and take 54 hostages. I think things started going south for them slowly from there. People think it happens overnight. Geopolitics, things take time. So where they have reached is, that was the inflection point. If they're not attacked, I mean, let us say they had just surrounded and told the embassy, no, you vacate this, that, they would not have gone. They would not have reached this plight. Today, I am told, I can't confirm, a lot of reports I am getting that by the thousands, people are quitting their religion and shifting back to Zoroastrianism in Iran. So, yes, sir.
General, couple of things. One request to our editor Sachin, can you please bring up the map of Pakistan with Balochistan? I just want to highlight the areas that the general has mentioned as pockets of influence of the Pakistani army inside what is modern day Balochistan. Just bring that map up, please. And sir, the question for you is, have you seen my video on Shukracharya and its relationship with Islam?
I did see that. See,
what you're saying is, it's all mentioned there.
See, it happens because when you are in a rush of blood and you think no end of yourself, yeah, this is the map. So, no, can we make it slightly smaller? Yeah. So you have Gwadar, you have Turbat, then there is this place here, somewhere here is Kalat, and then is Quetta.
Up there.
Yeah. Yes, Chaman is not in his control.
Yeah.
Near Quetta, from Sibi, when you go towards Quetta, is the Bolan Pass. That at the moment is open. But he can't go into Kandahar. Chaman crossing is not with the Pakistan army or with the frontiers. In fact, today morning, 7 people from the frontier corps have been kidnapped. 1 lieutenant colonel, there are 3 soldiers and 3 more, I think, JCOs and officers. They had gone for the burial, last rites of, I think, one of their relatives or frontier corps person, and the BLA has kidnapped them. Just imagine, Pakistan army lieutenant colonel has been kidnapped.
And they're still keeping those 6 nuclear scientists hostage, aren't they? They're still there. They're holding on to them. Yeah.
Yes, they're still there. It's gone. See, they have now openly told the Pakistan army, the areas that don't come there, we'll kill you.
General Rajiv, so let's say that Balochistan now has access to this area, but they need to put an administration in place where they need a functioning currency, logistics like getting food and other things across. How is all that being planned? I mean, this is essentially formation of a nation, one brick at a time.
One brick at a time. Like, they will take the leave from TPP. TPP had a full government, shadow government in KP and FATA, which has taken over. So they will start with this only. They'll get everything from, I'm sure Iran will start giving it to them so that they have good relations and they don't claim Sistan Balochistan area.
Yes. Okay, can we go back to the map, please? Can we go back to the map, please? So General Rajiv can show where the Baloch influence goes into Iran also. Sir, go ahead, sir. Sistan Balochistan.
Sistan Balochistan, short of Konarak, Chabahar, and just draw the line straight up at an angle going north of Sarwan till here. This is Sistan Balochistan, which is a Baloch area, and which includes Zaranj, Zahedan, all that area south of Helmand province, south of Kandahar, the Helmand province area. Southern portion is also all Baloch area in Afghanistan. So in the overall scheme of things, the Americans have planned that Afghanistan gives these areas to Baloch, but it takes over complete KP and your FATA area from Pakistan. That is all area up to the Indus is theirs. And I'm told the deal has been done. I think there is a lot of infighting in Taliban going on, and the hardliners are getting sidelined, primarily because the Americans are keen to get back to Bagram. So that if they have to target Iran from the other side, then they need a base there. And I'm sure they will take up a base in Balochistan also. So you have Balochistan, you have Afghanistan, and then of course you have Israel coming from the other side. So from 4 different directions, you have aircrafts coming in. It becomes very difficult for them to manage. All said and done, they don't have that much of air defense.
General Rajiv, I would be remiss if I don't ask you this question. Can you go back to the map, please? Now, if you look down, can you please expand it so we can see Chabahar, which is going to be just left of that line?
Just left of Gwadar. Chabahar is here.
Yeah. Right there.
Yes.
Right there. So now the interesting question is, India has interest in Chabahar, and US has Chabahar and Iran squarely in its sights. Do you see any dynamics changing in and around Chabahar?
Not at the moment, because essentially at the moment, while he is saying that he has removed the sanctions threat from Chabahar, I'm sure the Taliban will also get after the Americans, because all the aid that India is sending to food, medicines and everything that India sends to Afghanistan goes through Chabahar. Complete food, aid of food, medicines and everything what the people need for the day-to-day living, for the health services, everything goes through Chabahar. It doesn't go from Bandar Abbas. So while he may have said so, he may be negotiating something more, because Chabahar also has Japanese footprint. Japanese had also helped us with funding. So at the moment, except for I think 2 terminals are with us. Shahid Behesti terminal is there with us. Two terminals. The others are with them. So he may want to put pressure on them to give everything to India. The Iranian footprint is not there. Will the Iranians accede to that? That is the moot point.
Yeah. Sachin, can you just scroll the map up so we can see Zahedan? Because this 95 goes all the way up. That's how food is arriving in Afghanistan now, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
General, last questions are because, it goes straight up. It goes to Zahedan, right?
Zahedan. Yes.
Yeah.
Zahedan, no, beyond Zahedan, it enters from Zaranj.
Oh, Zaranj. Okay. So this road, I
goes up to Zaranj. We have made this road.
We have made this road up to Zaranj. From Zaranj to Chabahar.
Even inside that golden quadrilateral of theirs, we have made.
Yeah. In Afghanistan, we have. I'm talking about Zaranj to Chabahar. That road is supposed to be Iran's, right?
that is Iran's, but we have funded for it.
Okay. Have they finished
Our
it?
funding is there.
4 lanes?
Yeah, it's all been done and dusted. The road goes there.
Oh, okay.
So that is the route for all the food grains, medicines, everything to go there. In fact, why I am saying that the Taliban will also step in, the Taliban has now rescinded their agreement with the Pakistanis to make use of Karachi. So for them, Karachi is not the port. For them today, Chabahar is the port. So now if Trump administration or Trump wants to put pressure, I think it is more to do with pressure on Iran to give it completely to India. Or could be a joint Indo-Japanese footprint out there, and Iran would be told that no, and so that otherwise how do they send things to? So he might be also wanting that India and Japan, who are part of Quad, take over that port. You have all the agreements with them. So then their ships can also come to send whatever. After all, every month he is giving 85 million. That aid has not stopped.
Yes, to Afghanistan from the US. Yes.
From the US.
I get notified in my text check. Your taxpayer money sent to Afghanistan with love from US.
That has not stopped. So if they want to send something to them also, then this port becomes easy port for them, no? So it's not more or pressure on us. I think it's going to be there because after all, it's not lost on them. That's the only port for Afghans.
Yes.
There is no other port left.
Very true. Very true. General Rajiv, we have to take some questions now, sir. We have about 8 or 9 questions, if you don't mind. Let's just quickly go through them as quickly as possible. Thank you, sir. First question, please. Thank you, Anantaraman Hariharan, for becoming YouTube member. Chaitanya Takle wants to know, will Trump engage Egypt as well in Gaza talk, given its proximity to Gaza?
Chaitanya, I discussed that he's going to put them into Sinai. Sinai is Egyptian territory. He's already told, no, Egypt and Jordan will be taking people.
Yeah.
So obviously it will be there. But Egyptian, he is not giving anything to Egypt. All those oil, gas and everything, what is coming in their area, they're going to take it. The SOP will be what will come from Sinai. Sinai is mostly oil.
And just to complete this discussion, the amount of money US has given to Egypt for the last 50 years, it's $80 billion, 50 billion in military and 30 billion in economic assistance. So it's about 6 billion a year. They are getting a lot of, 1.6 billion a year. They're getting a lot of money from the United States. And likewise, in 2023, Jordan got an aid of $1.45 billion from the US. Both these countries are getting a huge amount of aid. So I'm sure something can be worked out, is what I feel, sir. I just wanted to put those numbers out there.
There's one thing I might like to add. The sands in Gaza are very rich in quartz. And quartz, you would know, sir. You need it for your modern high-tech electronics.
Yes. Very true. Very true. Next one, please.
You can add that also to what the Americans are eyeing.
But first they have to stop fighting, so that mindset has to change. See, you mentioned about the population explosion. I have to give the contrast to our viewers. 13 per mother in Palestine, 3.4 per mother in Israel. The Israelis are making a fight of it, by the way. I mean, it's not like they're saying, God damn it, we are going to reproduce too. So
the
India,
only problem is the other side has 4 wives, Israelis have 1 wife.
No, it's also a hint to India, General Rajiv, that you are already at 2. Just have 1 more child. In fact, I know that in Bengaluru, the Jain Society has said the 3rd child, we will take the responsibility of bringing up, bearing a bunch of the expense. The Jain community has said this.
Andhra, Chandrababu Naidu has said no government position anywhere, even for in the municipal corporation to stand anything, will not be given unless you have minimum 3 childs or more. 3 children, you get it. Otherwise, you won't get it. No government job also.
Good. We are thinking the right way. Yes.
Hamare do started off from the 60s. So that's how it was. So now you got to change and see.
Mangan Ranga wants to know, Namaskar, doesn't Trump seem to be trying to interfere all too much? He has enough on his hands internally as it is. Talking about taking over other parts of the world is probably in excess.
He has plenty in his team to look after inside. I think Elon Musk is good enough to look after inside. See, the fact that he stopped the US aid, that has collapsed a lot of things internally and externally. Like I gave one, I think off the record, I was telling Politico, which was such a journal and which was a woke journal and writing everything. Then the day he has stopped it, they have not been able to pay the salary.
Yes.
And there's nothing which has come out from Politico now. So, and there are a whole lot of things here in India also which is collapsing now. All those who were surviving on US aid and doing all sorts of nonsensical things, there's no money. So what do they do?
Thank you so much, Krishna. Southernmost part of Tripura to sea is 20 kilometers. India should take this and Chattogram and gain sea access. US can be given St. Martin Island to keep quiet.
I have done 2-3 talks on how to secure our national interests, where I had said not just this. If you look at the Chittagong province, it consists of Comilla to the north and to the south is Chittagong.
If you could bring up the map, sir, one second, sir. If you could bring up the map quickly, please, so that it makes more sense. Thank you. So there's the Chittagong coming up, sir. We are moving away from Balochistan to Chittagong just momentarily.
Yes.
There you go. Over.
So now when you see the lower portion of Chittagong, and there is the 𝗏𝗏 town. It's a narrow neck, 𝗏𝗏. There is a river actually which has not been shown here. You can see the delta here. It flows from Tripura and comes down. Bring it a little down, sir.
Bring it a little down. 𝗏𝗏 is up above Chittagong.
No.
The other way. Go the other way. Go the other way.
Yeah.
Little bit more. There you go. 𝗏𝗏 is on the left-hand side.
You see the 𝗏𝗏. There is a river which comes down from Tripura. Now, this is the narrow neck. I have already given in my talks that as far as this area is concerned, I'm take over Chittagong. So Chittagong and Cox's Bazar port becomes yours, and Northeast immediately gets support. And then to the north, I had said there are 2 provinces, northwest. Can we go north? Northwest Bangladesh, Rangpur and Rajshahi. Correct. So you have Rajshahi. Below that, they have shown Padma River. I don't know for what reason they have changed the name. It is Ganga. Ganga, they call it Padma. And to the north, where Dinajpur and all is written, that is the Rangpur province. East of Rangpur, Brahmaputra is coming in. And for reasons best known to them, Brahmaputra is actually the only river which is Indian, which is a male. It's a male name. All other rivers in India are female. The moment Brahmaputra comes into Bangladesh, they call it Jamuna. So I had said, if you take these, now if you bring it down further, slightly, Niche. No. Towards the Chicken Neck corridor. Why I am telling this?
Go the other way. Go the other way, please.
Yes. So now you see the Chicken Neck corridor, Siliguri corridor. The moment I have Rangpur and Rajshahi, I have no problem as far as the Siliguri corridor is concerned.
Right.
I have no problems. Then I have a huge patch of land here, and I'm not worried about this Chicken Neck corridor and the Siliguri corridor. So if push comes to shove, I'm happy. I think the government has taken note of it. For the first time ever, a massive Army Air Force exercise took place right opposite the Siliguri corridor, right opposite Rangpur Rajshahi, including a paradrop of a full battalion. And the Bangladesh army will never forget, nor the Pak army, of the paradrop of, I think it was 2 paras at Tangail that led to immediate total mental disruption, and Dhaka fell after that. That changed the dynamics. Tangail. And when the people talk of the Pak ISI and all had come, where did they go? They were so scared, they went there to see what is this Indian army doing. Such a massive exercise out there. It was called Operation Devil Strike. Would have given them the heebie-jeebies. They would have given them the heebie-jeebies. You see, the moment you take Rangpur and Rajshahi and blow up the bridges on the Ganga and the Brahmaputra, which he calls Padma and Jamuna, he can't come in. There's no way he can come in. And similarly, like you rightly said, that narrow corridor, the Chittagong, Feni, there's a Feni river, blow up all the bridges. That's it. St. Martin's, like I said, it's too small. What will he do? He can't even make a victualling base out.
Yeah. I think this was just a way to try and contain India or to do something like that. Down and Low wasn't really thinking it.
Maybe a listening post sort of a thing. Yeah. That's about all. But now, as it is, the Arakan army has already laid claim to St. Martin's. Yeah. That originally it was ours. At partition, it was handed over to Pakistan.
Manjula VK wants to know, sir, why are Hamas and Palestinians coming to Kashmir?
I think 12 of them they have accepted to bring them there. Let them come. If they think that they can come across and fight, they'll get butchered. How long? What is their survival? Like the Americans used to make for Iraq and Afghanistan, the cards, we also have our system of cards. And then you put a cross. This is targeted killing of terrorist leaders. You knock off the leader. That's it. So it's not that whole lot of Hamas and Palestinians are coming. There are 12 Palestinians whom Pakistanis have said we can repatriate. But will the Hamas or Palestinian, out of the 12 of them, would they like to come there? Why will he come there?
Next question, please. Jayanti Iyer wants to know, why not send the Palestinians in Gaza to Iran?
Jayanti Iyer, the Shia-Sunni divide runs very deep. Hezbollah are Shias. Hamas is cannon fodder as far as Iran is concerned. They are Sunnis. Iran will never take them. Look how they have pulled their hand off Hamas, except for saying something. There's nothing that Hamas is getting, but they are still trying all their tricks to give weapons to Hezbollah by hook or by crook to get it through. They're not giving it that way to Hamas. Hamas are Iranian, like I said, cannon fodder. They are Sunnis.
Chirantan wants a question for me. You said earlier in P. Guru's show that one of the reasons, I think it's for you, sir, one of the reasons India is lagging behind in big tech is lack of funds. If it's true, how come Russia able to develop latest military tech despite GDP less than that of India?
Okay, Chirantan sir, one thing. As far as your government budget is concerned, we maintain a balance between what you spend on military and what is spent for economy and for the betterment of the people. Russia has no economy as far as alternate economy apart from material resources. That's all that he can give you. So his is skewed towards military. He is always, like Soviet Union time, they've always had a threat of NATO. And now, like, this war is on, so it is skewed towards that. When I said big tech is lack of funds, I categorically said that our thinking in our big industry is socialistic. They have not yet formed the capitalistic form of mind of doing R&D, of giving funds. They always look up to the "mai baap ki aap paisa de." Right? Government has only that much of money. So yes, he takes out hives of, like, now he has given 10,000 plus crores for AI. All these high-tech cost money. What are these Ambanis, Adanis and Tatas and Infosys and all doing? If Infosys says he is such a champion in software, what has he done for AI till date? Zero. Why? Why are they not funding? Your R&D is 0.65% if you look at these companies. And if you look at the companies who are doing it in America, it is almost about 3 to 4%, 5% of whatever the earning is. I can't compare, don't compare India with China. China again has got nothing to do with these people. He is fighting for himself that I must be the strongest power in the world. So he's skewed everything. We talk of civil-military fusion. It is military-civil fusion. Everything is controlled by the military. So he gives him the funds. You can't do that. Yeah? Don't you want your people also to improve economically? So you got to maintain a balance. This budget, if I take away the central funded projects, defense has got the highest chunk, almost 14%. What more can the government give you? This is where I am against all these. Okay, L&T comes, Tata says I am making. Where are you funding R&D? You're taking a technology from outside and it's same TOT and you're making it. What has Adani done? He's taken it from Israel and he's making it. Where is his R&D? Banya mentality. R&D, you should be ready to accept loss. I may have a concept. I start down a path. It is not necessary that that may succeed. So if the same concept, similar concept, multiple people are working, you never know which will succeed. Yeah? Because you're going, when you're doing this R&D, you're going into uncharted territory.
Yes, yes.
You don't know anything. It's uncharted. और वो बनियागिरी है, मैंने 100 रुपए दिए तो मेरे को प्रॉफिट चाहिए 50 का. R&D ऐसे थोड़ी होता है यार. And then you cry that we are behind the curve of US, we are behind the curve with the Chinese. Yeah. If you say you're such a multinational company that you have footprints in US and you have footprints in Africa, Europe, where is your R&D? There's no R&D. I'll give you a simple example. Tatas have launched new models, Safari and Harrier. Where does the body come from? Land Rover. Did he do the R&D here for a separate monocoque? Nonsense. He brought that body from there, the platform from there. Is that R&D? Good morning. Smell the coffee, sir. You don't plow in money, you will not get it.
The whole Tata group is only one entity is profitable in that, and that is the TCS wing. And TCS does not want to do any R&D because they are fat just billing their customers in the West for their services. They don't want to do anything. TCS is a good place to do it. I've seen the talent, very good people. Same with L&T. L&T also has become this consulting business. They're also not willing to do a lot of basic R&D that they used to do before. I mean, I can go on. They are all used to this easy money. That's all I can say. They just don't have that mindset. 10 years down the road, 20 years down the road, how do you control the tech? India can. Again, I'm telling you, India can. Yeah.
I'm seeing it in these people. I interact with the technical institutions. I interact with our students from IIT. We speak to people outside of IIT also, the other institutions. Tremendous scope is available that you can do, but you have not created that environment and ecosystem for doing it.
Very true, sir. We've started somewhere and we've ended somewhere, but what a hangout this was. Viewers, you're going to want to see this thing again and again. General Rajiv, words fail me. Thank you so much, sir. We'll be seeing you next Thursday in Hindi. Namaskar.
Namaskar.
Thank you.